If pain resides in your body and anguish settles in your chest, you may have forgotten that you carry within you the oldest and most powerful medicine there is, your ability to sleep and dream. I'm not talking about sleep as mere rest, but as that sacred state where your being reconciles with itself, where every cell in your body finds the space to renew and heal. On the darkest nights, when suffering feels endless, your body whispers a profound truth. It needs the stillness of sleep, not only to repair damaged tissues, but to restore the lost balance between your mind and heart. Every time you surrender to rest, you allow an ancient wisdom to work within you, an intelligence that requires neither your control nor your effort. Imagine for a moment that your body is like a garden after a storm. The plants are bent, some branches broken, the soil churned. But when night falls and everything quiets, an invisible process of regeneration begins. Roots seek new nutrients, stems strengthen, damaged leaves fall to make way for new ones. Your body, like that garden, has the same capacity for self-repair when you give it the gift of true rest. Deep sleep is your natural refuge against pain. While you sleep, your body releases substances that act as internal balms, reducing inflammation and calming frazzled nerves. It's as if every night your body remembers its original state of peace and works tirelessly to return to it. This isn't magic, it's the innate wisdom of life manifesting through you. But the healing power of sleep goes beyond the physical. When you dive into the waters of deep rest, your mind breaks free from the chains of constant worry. The thoughts that swirl like leaves in a whirlwind during the day finally settle. In this silence, your true nature emerges, free from the noise of suffering. Often, when your body hurts, your mind resists sleep. Thoughts become vigilant, like sentinels refusing to abandon their post. What if the pain worsens? What if I don't wake up the same? What if? But these fears are merely shadows that fade when you realize sleep isn't an escape from pain, but a compassionate encounter with it. In the Zen tradition, there's a profound understanding. What we resist persists, what we embrace transforms. When you approach sleep with an attitude of acceptance, when you let your body surrender without struggle, you create the perfect conditions for healing to happen naturally. It's like preparing the soil for a seed to sprout. You need softness, not force. Your breath becomes the bridge between wakefulness and sleep. Each exhale is a chance to let go. Each inhale an invitation to peace. You don't need complex techniques or magical formulas. Simply notice how your breath naturally slows and deepens when you allow yourself to relax. It's your body reminding you how to come home, how to return to that state of harmony you never truly lost. When you finally surrender to sleep, something beautiful happens. Your consciousness, fragmented by 1,000 worries during the day, unifies. It's as if all the scattered parts of yourself gather in a silent embrace. In that moment, you're not a person who suffers or someone fighting pain. You're simply life resting, life renewing, life healing. Sleep returns you to your essence, reminding you that beneath all the layers of pain and worry lies an untouched core of peace. Every night is a chance to touch that peace, to let it permeate every cell of your being. No matter how intense the day has been, how heavy the suffering, sleep always offers the possibility of a new dawn. This is the first truth I want to share with you. Your capacity to heal doesn't depend on external forces, but on your ability to create inner space. Sleep is that space, that sacred pause where your being can remember its healing nature. Every time you allow yourself to sleep deeply, you're choosing life over pain, peace over suffering. Your body knows the way back to health. Your only task is to create the conditions for that innate wisdom to manifest. And sleep, that state of total surrender, is the most natural doorway to the healing you seek. There's a special moment just before you fall asleep, a sacred threshold where you're still conscious but no longer in control. That's where one of the deepest secrets of healing resides. In those moments, when your analytical mind quiets and your heart opens, you can plant seeds of healing that will germinate through the night. Think of this moment as if you were a gardener at dusk. You've worked the soil all day, clearing the stones of pain and the weeds of worry. Now, in the stillness of twilight, you have the chance to sow intentions for healing. It's not about forcing anything, but trusting that the soil of your being knows exactly what to do with those seeds. As sleep approaches, instead of fighting the thoughts that arise about your pain or discomfort, you can gently shift your focus to gratitude. Gratitude for your body, for carrying you through another day, for continuing to beat, for continuing to breathe despite everything. This isn't a denial of suffering. It's an acknowledgement of the vital force that remains intact within you. Your body has been with you every moment of your life. It's healed cuts, mended broken bones, fought infections without you needing to tell it how. That same intelligence that closed your childhood wounds is still present now, working tirelessly for your well-being. When you lie down and close your eyes, you're entrusting your well-being to that wisdom older than any medicine. There's something deeply comforting in realizing you don't have to carry the weight of your healing alone. Every night, as you surrender to sleep, you give permission to forces far vaster than your conscious will to work on your behalf. It's like loosening the reins and letting a wiser rider guide the horse. During deep sleep, your body enters a state of intensive repair. Cells renew, toxins are cleared, tissues regenerate. But beyond these physical processes, something even subtler happens. Your energetic field realigns. The knots of emotional tension you've accumulated during the day loosen, and the wounds of the soul find space to breathe. It's common to wake after a truly restorative night, feeling that something has shifted in you, even if you can't pinpoint what. It's as if a healing presence worked quietly while you rested. And in a sense, that's exactly what happened. Your own healing nature, free from the interference of a worried mind, was able to act with complete freedom. The dreams that arise during these hours aren't random. They often carry messages from your inner wisdom, images your psyche needs to process, symbols that help you integrate difficult experiences. Even when you don't remember your dreams, their healing work continues. It's as if your soul has its own conversations with you while you sleep, whispering truths your waking mind isn't yet ready to hear. There's a simple but powerful practice you can incorporate into your bedtime ritual. Before closing your eyes, place one hand on your heart and the other on the part of your body that most needs healing. Breathe deeply, and with each exhale, imagine sending golden light to that area. It's not about visualizing anything complex, just creating a conscious connection between your heart and the place that hurts. As you do this, you can silently repeat simple phrases like, My body knows how to heal. I trust my ability to renew. Every cell in my being seeks balance. These aren't empty affirmations. They're reminders of truths your body already knows. By repeating them gently, you're aligning your conscious mind with your body's wisdom. The beauty of this practice is that it doesn't require blind faith or special beliefs. It only needs your willingness to collaborate with your body's natural processes, to be an ally rather than an obstacle to your own healing. When you fall asleep with this attitude of loving collaboration, you create the ideal conditions for the daily miracle of cellular regeneration to thrive. There are nights when physical pain or emotional anguish makes sleep seem impossible. In those moments, remember that even imperfect rest has healing power. You don't need to sleep 8 hours straight to benefit from sleep's gifts. Even brief moments of deep relaxation allow your nervous system to calm and healing processes to activate. In the silence of the early morning, when the world sleeps and you're awake with your pain, an unexpected opportunity for transformation arises. Those hours that seem eternal, where each minute drags slowly, can become your most powerful ally if you learn to see them differently. Not as enemies stealing your rest, but as silent teachers showing you about patience and acceptance. When you can't sleep, your first impulse might be resistance, frustration, or fear that tomorrow you'll be more exhausted. But there's another way to meet insomnia: as a sacred space where you can practice being present with your pain without fleeing from it. It's in these solitary hours that the deepest truths about your healing process often reveal themselves. Your body doesn't always need to be unconscious to heal. There's a state of conscious rest, an alert stillness where you remain present but fully relaxed. It's like floating in calm waters, feeling effortlessly supported. In this state, even if you don't sleep deeply, your nervous system can repair, your muscles can release, and your mind can find the peace it needs. Imagine your pain as a wounded creature seeking refuge in the night. Instead of rejecting or fearing its presence, you can offer it a place in your heart, not to keep it forever, but to give it the comfort it needs before it can transform. Sometimes, pain just wants to be seen, acknowledged, treated with the tenderness all suffering things deserve. In those wakeful moments, you can practice what we might call loving pain meditation. Breathe with your discomfort instead of against it. Each inhale can be an invitation to compassion. Each exhale a chance to release the tension that comes from resisting what's present. This isn't about resigning yourself to suffering, but about stopping the energy drain of fighting something that's already here. Your breath in these difficult hours becomes your anchor, your point of return when your mind gets lost in the maze of why me, or when will this end? Each conscious breath is a small act of love toward yourself, a reminder that you're still alive, that your capacity to experience includes both pain and the possibility of healing. There's something deeply healing in accepting that some nights are for staying awake, for accompanying your own process with the patience of someone caring for a loved one who's ill. In these involuntary vigils, you can develop an entirely new relationship with your suffering, one based on compassion rather than rejection. The thoughts that arise during these sleepless hours are often different from those of the day. They're more intimate, more honest, less filtered by usual defenses. It's as if the darkness gives you permission to be completely truthful with yourself. Listen to these thoughts without judgment. Let them flow like clouds passing through the sky of your consciousness. Sometimes, in the midst of these endless nights, an unexpected understanding arises. A word of comfort that seems to come from deep within. An image that brings peace. A sense that, despite everything, there's something in you untouched by suffering. These moments of grace can't be forced, but when they arrive, it's important to receive them with gratitude. Your capacity to heal doesn't depend on how many hours you sleep, but on the quality of presence you can offer yourself in both sleep and wakefulness. Every moment you choose compassion over resistance, acceptance over struggle, you're activating your deepest healing power. Even when you feel you haven't rested enough, your body has been working all night. Your heart has kept beating with perfect precision. Your lungs have continued their rhythmic dance. Your cells have kept renewing. Healing doesn't stop because you didn't sleep 8 hours. It's a continuous process that adapts to circumstances, finding ways to work even in the toughest conditions. When dawn finally arrives after a difficult night, don't rise with a sense of defeat. Rise knowing you've spent hours in intimate company with yourself, that you've practiced presence, that you've chosen tenderness even amid pain. These wakeful nights, though challenging, often become the most significant turning points in our healing process. Sleep will come when your body is ready for it. In the meantime, you can rest in the confidence that every moment of loving presence with yourself is an act of healing. Every conscious breath is medicine. Every instance of acceptance is a step toward the peace you seek. Waking after a healing night of sleep is like gently emerging from deep, restorative waters. There's a sacred moment between sleep and full wakefulness, a space where you still carry the wisdom of the night. It's important not to jump out of bed abruptly, but to let your consciousness return gradually, like a flower slowly opening to the morning sun. In those first minutes of waking, before your mind fills with the day's worries, your body speaks in a subtle but clear language. Listen to it. How does your breath feel? Are there areas where tension has dissolved overnight? What new sensations have emerged? This morning acknowledgement isn't vanity. It's a way to honor the work your body did while you rested. Often upon waking, the first thought is about pain. Is it still there? Has it worsened? Will I function today? But there's a more compassionate way to meet your body upon waking. Instead of immediately seeking what's wrong, start by noticing what's right. Your eyes opening to the light, your heart beating steadily, your lungs filling with fresh air. This isn't a denial of pain, but an acknowledgement of the life pulsing within you despite it all. The moment of waking is also when you can gather the fruits of your subconscious's nighttime work. Sometimes you wake with a sense of clarity about something that worried you, or an intuition about how to care for yourself better. These gifts of sleep are like seeds your unconscious mind has planted for you. Receive them with gratitude, even if you don't fully understand them in that moment. Your body holds a memory of the peace and healing states it experienced during the night. You can help it remember and sustain those states by spending a few minutes each morning reconnecting with that inner calm. It's not a complicated practice, just something as simple as placing your hands on your chest and feeling your heart's rhythm, reminding your being that peace is your natural state. The effects of healing sleep don't end with rest. When you've slept with healing intention, when you've allowed your body to do its repair work without interference, you carry a different quality of presence into the day. It's as if you've been bathed internally by a renewing energy that continues to radiate hours after waking. This renewed presence lets you approach the day's challenges from a different place. The pain may still be there, the difficulties haven't magically vanished, but your capacity to meet them has changed. It's like the difference between facing a storm when you're exhausted versus when you feel rested and centered. The external circumstances may be the same, but your inner resources are entirely different. During the day, you can keep the connection to that healing source activated during sleep alive. Whenever you feel tension returning, pain intensifying, or anxiety growing, you can pause and recall the sense of peace you felt upon waking. It's like having access to an inner refuge you can return to anytime. Your breath becomes the thread linking the calm of the night to the activity of the day. When you breathe consciously during the day, you're invoking the same wisdom that operated while you slept. Each deep breath is a way to keep the channel open between your waking consciousness and your innate healing capacity. There are moments during the day when you can create small pockets of waking sleep, moments where you close your eyes for a few minutes and let your body remember the restorative state of the night. These micro rests are especially powerful when you feel pain intensifying or your energy scattering. They're not escapes from reality, but returns to your healing center. The practice of maintaining awareness of healing sleep during waking hours gradually transforms your relationship with time. You no longer live solely in anticipation of the next night's rest, but cultivate a continuity of healing presence that flows through every moment of the day. It's like keeping a gentle flame lit that never fully goes out. When night comes again, you don't return to sleep as something entirely foreign, but as a familiar state of healing you've been connected to all day. This continuous cycle of conscious waking, daytime presence, and nocturnal surrender creates a rhythm of life that honors both your need for action and your need for rest. True healing doesn't happen only during sleep, but in the harmonious integration of rest and activity, nocturnal surrender, and daytime awareness. When you achieve this integration, your entire life becomes a space of continuous healing, where every moment has the potential to contribute to your well-being and renewal. Over time, as you deepen this practice of conscious healing sleep, you'll notice something extraordinary. Not only does your body transform, but your very understanding of what it means to heal evolves. You no longer seek only relief from physical pain, but discover a broader dimension of well-being that embraces both the light and shadow of your human experience. The true medicine of sleep isn't about escaping suffering, but about developing such an intimate, compassionate relationship with yourself that even pain becomes a teacher, a doorway to a deeper understanding of your own nature. Every night of conscious practice brings you closer to this truth. Healing isn't always the absence of pain, but the presence of peace amid difficulties. When you've spent months or years cultivating this sacred relationship with sleep, your body begins to trust in an entirely new way. It no longer tenses in anticipation of rest, no longer fights the process of surrender. It's as if it's learned a secret language of healing that speaks directly to your soul. This trust extends beyond the bedroom, influencing how you relate to every aspect of your life. Your sleep becomes a mirror of your inner evolution. On nights when you fully surrender, waking refreshed and at peace, you can see your growth reflected in your capacity for acceptance and self-love. On harder nights, when rest eludes you, you also find opportunities to practice patience and compassion with yourself. Every experience, pleasant or challenging, becomes part of your healing path. There comes a moment in this process when you realize you were never truly separate from your capacity to heal. The healing power wasn't something you had to find outside yourself, but something you needed to remember was always present. Conscious sleep simply helped you peel back the layers of tension, fear, and resistance that hid this fundamental truth. This realization brings immense freedom. You no longer depend solely on external treatments, medicines, or therapies to feel better. While these aids can still be important and valuable, you now know you carry the most powerful medicine within, your innate ability to find peace, to renew, to heal from the inside out. Healing sleep also teaches you about the natural cycles of life. Just as night follows day and day follows night, you understand that pain and relief, difficulty and ease, tension and relaxation are part of a natural rhythm you don't need to control, only accompany with loving presence. When others see you navigating tough times with a serenity you didn't have before, when they notice your relationship with suffering has changed, they become silent witnesses to the transformative power of this practice. You don't need to explain what you do. Your presence itself becomes a testament that it's possible to find peace, even in the most challenging circumstances. Your nightly practice begins to radiate into every aspect of your life. The patience you cultivate waiting for sleep shows up in your relationships. The acceptance you practice with your pain allows you to meet life's difficulties with greater equanimity. The trust you develop in your body's natural processes extends to a broader trust in the processes of life itself. There are nights when you experience something that can only be described as grace, a state of peace so profound it seems to connect you to something far vaster than your individual body. In those moments, you understand that your personal healing is part of a greater healing, that by healing yourself, you contribute in some mysterious way to the healing of the world. This is perhaps the deepest teaching of conscious sleep. You're not alone in your healing process. Every time you surrender to rest with love, every time you choose compassion over resistance, you connect to an invisible web of beings, also seeking peace, also working for their own healing and that of others. Your practice thus becomes a silent act of service. You're not just healing yourself, but contributing to collective healing, simply by being a living example that it's possible to find peace amid suffering, to trust in the body's wisdom, to transform pain into compassion. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining me on this journey through the healing power of sleep. If these words have sparked a light in your heart or offered you a new perspective on healing, don't miss out. Subscribe to Pure Zen Life to continue exploring the transformative wisdom of Zen teachings and practices for inner peace. Share your thoughts, experiences, or questions in the comments below. Your story could inspire and support others on their healing path. Let's build a community of compassion and hope together, finding peace in every restful moment. Namaste.